Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Thank you guys for joining me once again. And so we see Albert Einstein, one of the greatest brains that this world has ever known. And we see everything as energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And another amazing mind. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So everything that we've learned in quantum physics, to me, has been just great verification of the wisdom that lies within the East. And the Taoist philosophy, of which we get QiGong, as well as in the Vedic, Hindu, Indian philosophy as well, which has taught us so much about chakras. And there are many different chakras, and they do look like whirling tornadoes. So when we see storms upon the earth, they always remind me of chakras, tornadoes, cyclones, hurricanes, very, very similar. And as you notice here, they are drawing energy into the body. They are pulling energy into the body all the time through the various centers. And here you see basically representation of the 7 major chakras, but there are hundreds of chakras in the body. They are on every fingertip, every toe. They are at every joint pretty much in the body, each organ as well. Now these are pulling energy into the major ganglia in the body off of the spinal cord. And, these are thought to be the most important chakras, though all chakras are important. And they all have a function, and they all are operating at different frequencies. Again, everything is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, and we should take solace in that. Yet, energy does change. It's always changing. So, the line of thought that evolution doesn't happen is simply incorrect, because things do evolve. They never stay put. Things are always in motion, constantly in motion. It is not a static mechanical universe. It's a dynamic universe, dynamic multiverse. We don't even know the vastness of it. Now, each one of these chakras is pulling in energy to a different organ system, and everything is working together in concert. As you guys know, we are not just a singular being. That's the bigger picture in some sense. But the reality is we are a collection of trillions of things, trillions of cells, and also our microbiome, the bacteria, viruses, and the like. Things that are living off of us and in us outnumber our cells in the body by at least 10 to 1. And so each one of us is most definitely a universe unto themselves. And so, in effect, as it is written, ye are gods, in the sense that if we feel like we are looking out into the stars and seeing the vast expanse of everything that we can see just on the visible spectrum, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of reality, and you are looking out into perhaps the mind of God, quote unquote, as we've talked about how the neural net in the brain looks so much like what we see when we look out at the stars. And it reminds me of a book by T. Lobsang Rampa called You Forever, where his guru teaches him, and he's basically a Buddhist monk learning from his guru. And his guru says, Lobsang, why do you just marvel and wonder when you look up at the stars? And he just says, the vastness of it, master. It's just amazing. It's so huge. And his master says, do you know that if I shrunk you down to 1/millionth of your size and you could look up at your own body or look up at me, that is exactly what you would see, what you are looking at right now. As above, so below. And these are the secrets. And there was a comment on one of the videos made by one of the subscribers that said, I heard you talking about as above, so below months ago. or long ago when they first started watching the channel, and I thought because of the programming that this person went through that you're talking about something evil and something we're to avoid. But see, that's the conditioning. And she said, I watched more of your videos. I know where your heart's coming from. I could feel the energy, and it's nothing to be feared. And that's the realization. And that's what my whole purpose is here. Mine and Cindy's is to teach you guys and to explain these mysteries that have been hidden from us in the West. But they have been out there in the East and in other traditions as well. We are infinite beings, and we are in a state of constant change and constant flux, and we change. We're not the same person today that we were yesterday, and that's not the same person you're going to be tomorrow. And so these chakras are real, and when we look at them, you start over here with the base or the root chakra, and you can see it's a reddish color. Then we go up to the sacral chakra, which is orangish. Then we go up to the solar plexus, and that one's yellow. The heart chakra, which is green. The throat chakra, which is blue. And then the third eye chakra, which is a deeper indigo color. And then the crown chakra, which is a violet. Now, each one of them has a function and a form and a purpose. And each one of them is operating at a different vibratory level. And so as we see each one of them, again, they're doing a job. And so with the root chakra, that's all about our basic survival and physical needs. And then as we go up to the sacral chakra, that's more about the passions, and I want. Solar plexus chakra is all about I am. The heart chakra is all about love. And the throat chakra is all about communication. The pineal gland is basically your third eye, as so many people are familiar with that term, and your ability to see on other levels, other dimensions, other vibratory frequencies. Then we go to the crown chakra, and that's your connection to the divine, connection to higher self. As you see here, it's talking about containing programs to be used by the 8th chakra, including the release of basic psychic skills. And it's not that you have to just open your third eye, but you also open the crown chakra and then the higher chakras, which are above it, to connect stronger and stronger to the more finer realms as far as the higher vibratory frequencies yet. And that is what is going on. For me, when the energy flows, it feels as if the crown and the third eye become one. And I've become aware of these higher chakras really only as far as sensing them myself, only in the past maybe 3 years or so. I'd say 3 to 4 years, I became aware of being able to sense the ones that are above the crown chakra. So these are the ones that are coming online for many people right now. And as you see, these are going up into much higher levels of connection to the very highest realms. And so we are truly changing, and we are truly morphing into something that we haven't been in perhaps a long time. And perhaps for some of us, maybe this is the first time we're going to be going up into these realms. And there's more levels than this, even beyond. So when we look, and this is just science, this is just basic science. If we look at the spectrum of electromagnetic radiation and we look at the chart, and it's fascinating that this corresponds with the traditional colors of the chakras. It corresponds beautifully. And, there again, science verifying what we've known in the East for so long through these various traditions. So as we go up in frequency, so do the chakras go on up. And we go basically again from the root, and we go into the sacral, into the solar plex, into the heart center, which we are going to be living out of. We've been living out of in third density, we've been living out of the solar plexus chakra, which is all about I am, and we're going to be going into the heart chakra, and we are going into it right now. Some of us are already living well out of that, and that's all about love and compassion, and starting to really sense the greater unity of all things as we go from this divided dualistic existence into one that's heading back towards greater unity. There are those that believe that basically what we see is basically the Creator exploring its creation in a myriad of different forms, every different possibility, as there's 7.8 billion of us on this planet. And then when we include all the fish and the birds and the insects and the animals and the plant life and even the mineral life, rocks have consciousness too. Everything has consciousness. So the thought is that divine spark of the Creator is in every single thing that you see and every single thing that there is. And it's the Creator expressing and exploring itself in a myriad of different ways. And so the pathway leads out, and then the pathway leads back to Creator, to Source. And interestingly enough, as we were talking about, it's all about frequency, and it just so happens that the chakras line up perfectly with an ascending frequency. And over here, you could see the different chakras, locations, their elements, their issues. And so then you'll also see over here too, corresponding to different notes. Again, sound is the same thing. Sound goes along perfectly as well. So these are all aspects to the chakras that many might not be quite aware of. And so we could open them up with different sounds. We could open them up with different colors. Visualizing. The power of visualization is so incredibly important. Do not underestimate it. We have been purposely, led astray to think that imagination is just that. It's just imagining. It's not real. But in fact, everything starts first with a thought. And the stronger our focus, the stronger our ability to bring our energies to a singular point, which is so tough for most of our minds. But the stronger we could connect, the stronger we could focus and hold one concerted thought, being in the moment, the quicker we can manifest positive change, the quicker we could heal ourselves, the quicker we could heal others as well. And here again, you're looking at chakra tones based on 432 hertz. And so even our music system with 440 hertz has been set up in a dysfunctional way. Just the same thing with the English language, which is in many ways the dominant language on the planet, through which the business of the planet is conducted mostly. And it is most definitely dysfunctional. People have noticed how so many of the words are, interestingly enough, phonetically set up in a negative light, like good morning, for instance. So recognizing again the different tones and tonalities and their effects on the chakra as well, each chakra. So gratefully now we have a lot of good music that we could expose ourselves to at different frequencies that will help different chakras as well to open and express themselves and to draw in the energy that they need to support not just the physical body, because our body is many layered, and the physical body is just the densest, heaviest, moving at the slowest vibrational rate. And we have many others, the etheric, the astral, the emotional, the mental, and then up into much, much finer realms as well. So again, everything is energy. Everything is energy. We have to recognize that. It's all about vibration and frequency. So if we are holding on to a frequency that is less than optimal, we will find our reality is less than optimal. So what does that look like for you? How is that going to benefit you? Each one of us has to work these things out for ourselves, because we are all on different paths, and that's part of the great plan, the great divine plan. So I hope you guys found this little intro into chakras, frequency, color, vibration as interesting. We're going to go into much deeper depth as we are going to be putting out a lot more videos to help people heal, and to heal on many different levels, because healing is holistic, truly. If it's going to stay and settle in and permanently lift us into a much better frequency of harmony, peace, unity, and optimal health. And it's all part of this great picture that we find ourselves in. So I want to thank everybody for their support over on Patreon. And if you feel so inclined, you could help the channel through these times of censorship by joining us over at Patreon. We're hoping to get to 100 Patreons by the end of the month, as basically on YouTube, the algorithms are such that certain channels are experiencing very hard times financially. And unfortunately, we're still in this system right now, but we are going to create a better system. Or you could come over at Ko-Fi and do a one-time donation to help out the channel. Please do make sure that you are subscribed to both channels, EEARTS and Evolutionary Energy Arts. Make sure to click the bell where you get all the notifications. So my friends, I look forward to your comments. As always, may you guys be blessed with abundant peace, love, health, happiness, and well-being on this trip here. And as always, God bless and namaste.